Hi everyone, welcome to the Witching Week. Today is episode number 103. Today we're going to be looking at a lovely deck that I found in the week. We're going to be taking a look at colour magic and what it means to us, and we're going to be looking at the energy of 2025. So get comfy, grab a cup of tea, put some incense on, and we'll explore the Witching Week. Hi everyone, welcome back. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. I'm Wren, I'm known as the Cemetery Witch, and every Friday we get together for a cup of tea, a bit of a chinwag, and we look at the week before and the week to come and the turn of the wheel. We are nearly at Imbolc, that's tomorrow. And yeah, welcome. How's your week been? So I'm drinking hot chocolate this morning. I'm supposed to be on a diet, but it's been such a cold, wet and windy week, and I am burning some Satya mindfulness, which I really love, but I go backwards and forwards on this one. If I'm not feeling right, this one can very easily give me a headache, but at the same time, it's absolutely beautiful. I bought 3 boxes of this the other day, so yeah, really love that. It's been so cold and wet and windy here, and the weird thing is the temperature gauge has not even been that cold, but it's just felt really cold. Of course, we had Storm Eowyn last week. Now here in my position, slap bang in the middle of England, it didn't get that windy here when you consider that it was the biggest storm the island has had since Hurricane Debbie in 1961. I'm surprised we didn't have more wind. It did pick up on and off. But yeah, I think we got away with it in the Midlands, in the East Midlands. It was extremely powerful and it was record breaking. It was apparently an extra tropical cyclone. Not a hurricane, apparently. Apparently hurricanes are to do with, I think, warmer air and warm water that they pick up as they pass. But yeah, this was an extra tropical cyclone, and the winds that Ireland had broke their records, their 80-year-old records. I was really saddened to see that the largest tree in Edinburgh, which is a Himalayan cedar of 100 foot, at the Royal Botanical Garden, unfortunately that was uprooted, so that was just completely laid out along with 15 other trees, and then they had a further 25 that need care and attention and aren't doing so well. So yeah, really sort of sad day for trees, and yeah, I think possibly someone lost their life as well, and just an absolutely unprecedented event, to be honest. I follow a severe weather warning sort of type page, and people from Ireland were sort of talking in real time or afterwards, but I was reading the comments anyway, and they were just saying like, this is crazy, or that was crazy, and yeah, they'd never seen or heard anything quite like it. So yeah, a real stormy, wet, windy week for everyone, I think. I think Cornwall had a storm as well 2 days later. I think that was on the Sunday. And yeah, it's pretty much been quiet here. It has been wet though the last couple of days, and it's felt kind of almost unseasonably wet, and I don't know why. Maybe we haven't had rain for a while. I think that's possibly the case, but I'm really ready for spring now. I don't know about you, if you're in the Northern Hemisphere. How are you feeling about the weather now? Have you had enough? Have you just had your fill and you're ready to move on to a different season now? I know I am. I am tired of being cold. I feel like I'm cold for 7 or 8 months of the year, really, and it's got to the point where most days I am frozen all day long until I go to bed. So yeah, I've had enough now. I've had enough. I saw this really lovely image in the week, and you can tell I'm perimenopausal because I was on my phone in the car. Husband was driving, and I just started crying, and I just couldn't help it, like proper tears. But it's really gorgeous, and I just thought this was just such a lovely memorial to all our childhood pets and friends, our furry friends. And it really got me, it made me really emotional. It got me thinking about the childhood pets that are buried in my childhood home, and you know, none of us live there anymore. It's definitely made me think that when the time comes for us to get an animal, so we don't have one at the moment. I mean, I love cats, but it definitely makes me think about having them cremated instead and taking them with me rather than, you know, burying them at home, unless I'm sure I'm going to be somewhere forever. But yeah, I thought this was really, really beautiful. We still talk about you. And I just thought it just encapsulates how we feel about our beautiful furry friends. So moving on to a different topic altogether, I noticed it was Australia Day in the week, on the 26th of January, and I just want to give a shout out to the many viewers and supporters of the Cemetery Witch that we have from Australia, but also I just want to say hi and thank you to people in New Zealand and just generally in the Southern Hemisphere. So Australia celebrate their National Day on the 26th of January, and it marks the 1788 landing of the First Fleet and raising the Union flag. Now obviously there are all sorts of issues and topics that surround this and surround this day. I think today, Australia Day seeks to recognise the contributions of Australians everywhere, and also a reflection on past wrongs, obviously inflicted towards Indigenous people. I understand from an outsider, from what, you know, what I can gather, and obviously my own intelligence and how I feel about the world, I can understand that it brings grief, obviously, to many people this day. But I also understand from many young modern Australians that they also celebrate this day in terms of what a great place Australia is, how proud they are to be Australian, and how the wrongs of the past are, you know, being addressed or starting to be addressed. But I just wanted to use this as an opportunity really to just say hello and shout out and say thank you to the many Australians that I know watch this programme, follow me on various platforms and support me as well via Patreon. So I just wanted to say thank you so much, and however you honoured it or marked it or perhaps even celebrated it, I just want to say that, you know, I hope you had a pleasant day. I think it's really important when you've got a worldwide audience to be aware of these things, and yeah, so a huge shout out to all the Australians especially, but also other people in the Southern Hemisphere, because we do have people from New Zealand supporting us as well. So yeah, it's so lovely to have a global family. I spotted this card in the week and I thought I would share this with you. It says, I'm unapologetic, I can't talk today, I'm unapologetic about what I desire and trust that what I focus on will grow. And I thought this was so lovely. I just saw the image and it was just luck that somebody had written under this image, I love that deck. So I set about trying to find what deck it was, and without too much trouble, I did actually find it's a deck from 2017 by Gabrielle Bernstein, and the deck is called The Universe Has Your Back, Transform Fear to Faith, and it looks absolutely beautiful. Please let me know in the comments if you have this deck, if you use it, if you enjoy it, if you've seen it, or perhaps if you haven't got this deck and you like the sound of it. It's got 52 cards, which I think is lovely because that's like one a week. So you could perhaps pick one a week or go through the deck in order and concentrate on that message. But they are there to help you when you're lost, down, tired, feeling uncertain, you know, all those negative sort of vibes. And the idea is it lifts and it just cheers and just makes you feel so much better with its quite profound messages and deep sentiments. I think it looks really lovely. It's just, I love anything that's just full of positivity like this. And yeah, it's supposed to just comfort you. And I thought that one phrase or paragraph alone I thought was really comforting. So yeah, I wondered if you have those cards, whether you recommend that I get them, what you think of them. It has got wonderful, wonderful reviews online when you have a look. And it does look kind of familiar. I was going to say that I'm surprised that I haven't seen this deck before, but I think I have. I recognise the sort of watercolour type artwork. It reminds me very much of a lot of the stamps I used to use when I was a Stampin' Up demonstrator. It's got that lovely, just sort of like loose and free and very gentle energy about it. So yeah, one to check out. I will put a link in the description box below. But this deck then got me on to thinking about colour magic, and I was wondering how many of you use colour magic either consciously or subconsciously. And I was chatting with my friend Sam at the smithy about this. We had a long conversation about colour. We are both very motivated by colour. You only have to look at like what we do and the products we make and the way we go about things. And I'm absolutely fascinated by the topic of colour. And it got me thinking, I think that I probably think about colour more than most people. I am sure there are probably people out there that don't think about colour at all. And I'm wondering if the people that are really, really into colour, whether quite often they are witches. So I will wake up in the morning and one of the first things I think about is colour, and it can be absolutely anything that's going to trigger this. It can be waking up and looking at the colour of the wall. Obviously that's not happening at the moment because we're in the deepest, darkest depths and it's pitch black when I wake up. But quite often in the summer, I wake up, I look at the lavender coloured wall in my bedroom, or I wake up and I'm thinking about what clothes I'm going to wear. But it doesn't, I mean, I dress for comfort, but I'm not thinking about comfort when I'm thinking about what I'm going to wear and when I'm planning what I'm going to wear. I'm thinking about the colour, what mood I'm in, or what colour I want to wear. And yeah, I just find it really, really fascinating. Maybe it's a witch thing, I don't know, but I definitely embrace colour, not just because of its visual sort of gift to us, but because of its vibration, I think, because of its energy. And each and every colour calls to me. I mean, do I have a favourite colour? Yeah, I have a few, but equally, I would find it really, really hard to answer that question. You know, when I saw something that said, think about how you feel about your fave colour and think about how you feel about your least favourite colour. I can't actually imagine having a least favourite colour. For me, they all have their uses, I guess, is sort of where I'm going with this. And of course, in magic, we can use colour in lots of different ways. We can use colour in healing, we can use colour for protection, we can use it to lift mood, we can use it to create a vibe, so like in a room we might do that, and we can use it to change how others perceive us. So in particular, I'm thinking about glamour magic, I'm thinking about makeup, I'm thinking about wearing a certain coloured scarf or certain coloured clothes. And we can obviously feel how we change about ourselves as well in the same way. So I love wearing black. I try and avoid it. I've got a black top on because that's practical. I've got a dark green top on underneath, and you can't see it, but I'm actually wearing a bright purple skirt. But I love being head to toe in black, and that is not because, you know, I'm a goth or I style myself in that way necessarily. I just feel really, really fantastic in black. If you have a good outfit in black, it just feels so, it feels powerful, but it kind of feels liberating as well. And yeah, it just feels really, really sexy. I love wearing black. I could wear black all day long, every day, but I also don't want to be in black all of the time. I do like colour, and I do like to surround myself with colour. I'd love to hear about you guys and your craft and your practice and how you feel about colour and how you feel about the colour black, for example. How do you enjoy wearing black? Is it something you do? I think for us women as well, we're taught that black's smart and also that it's slimming, and I do feel slimmer in black. I feel like I'm not drawing attention to stuff, but it's not that so much, it's the energy. I just really, really like that colour, and I feel very protected wearing that colour as well. I just don't see though how I can have a least favourite colour. I mean, I love them all. I love orange, I love yellow, I well, yeah, maybe I do have a least favourite colour. Like, I wouldn't probably wear bright pink. However, that said, I look at that colour and it still brings me as much joy as all the other colours do. Let me know what you think. I find this a really, really interesting topic. I'd love to hear how you embrace colour, how you use it magically, how you use it in your everyday life perhaps, whether the people around you, what they think of that. Like, I've always worn quite bright colours, and I've found people making comments in the past, and family and stuff like that. So I do remember going into a shop once, and I can't remember what kind of shop it was, and the lady said that, oh, you're brightening up a winter's day, and I had on like bright purple and bright turquoise. It was like tie-dye, and it was a lot of colour in the winter. And yeah, I think she was a bit taken aback. But yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know, do you wear black all the time? Do you wear lots of bright colours? Do people do the same with you? Do they raise an eyebrow or mention it to you? I'd love to know. Personally, I think people like it when they see someone colourful. I think many people wish that they were brave enough to wear colour. I mean, everyone can wear colour, of course. But yeah, it's a very, very interesting topic. And I feel like the colour I wear sets me up for the rest of the day. So I want to talk next about the energy. So we're still talking energy, but the energy of the year so far in recent months. I think I touched on this last week, but I've had a really, really good week, and I'd say that my fortune in many ways is turning around a little bit. I have had, as well as, you know, some really, really positive things about the last few years, I've had a really tough few years, as many of you know, not just related to health, but all areas of my life. And I feel like a lot of it is straightening out now. Now, you might say, well, if you've had a bad time, that will be your fault. It will be something you've done or said or whatever. I feel like it's been deeper than that. Now, obviously, there is lots going on in the world right now, some not very positive things, and it all feels a bit scary. But perhaps on a more personal level, I feel like things are sort of falling into place, and I'm having a bit of better luck, and things, you know, that could go one way or another are actually going the positive way. I would love to know what you think, because I've heard lots of other people saying the same, where their fortunes seem to be changing after a particularly challenging and rough time. So I'd love to know in the comments how it's going for you. And again, some people say, well, this is just a matter of perspective. Not really. I'm a very, very open-minded person. I'm a very positive person, and I personally approach each day as a fresh, brand new start, opportunity for magic things to happen. But it just so happens that the last few years have been very, very challenging, which is not necessarily negative. You know, we learn from what goes on, what happens to us, our experiences, our mistakes. But I feel like something has changed. And for me, this has changed probably since the beginning of December. That is when things started to pick up a little bit, I feel, and to get a little bit better. And then, yeah, the pace is picking up as we're starting to travel through the year, which personally I'm very, very grateful for. I've had 444 following me everywhere. Now, I'm not somebody that looks at my phone a lot. I don't go out and spend much money, so I don't have receipts very often. I am not often faced with numbers, and if I am, I might see 1111 from time to time. But I've had 444 following me everywhere. So on receipts, I've woken up in the morning and looked at the time, and I've switched my phone on and it says 4:44. I've gone in the cupboard and the smart meter says it. I've gone in there 10 minutes later and looked, because I wouldn't normally bother looking, and it's completely different. And I'm just seeing it crop up like in telephone numbers and just all sorts of things. It's been really, really weird, and it's been very, very intense. And I looked up 444, and apparently it indicates that you're in alignment with your true purpose, and that you're creating a solid foundation for your goals. And I do feel like that's kind of fitting with what's happening at the moment. I feel like that is really, really matching the energy that I am experiencing and some of the things that I am experiencing. So I wondered, Has this been happening for anyone else? Perhaps it happened in the past where they had a period where their angel numbers, as they call them, repeatedly came up with the same one, and it did reflect the message that traditionally goes with that angel number. And you can find this information online easily. But I'd like to know, has that been a thing for you? Has that been a thing for you right now? Are your fortunes changing after a really, really difficult time? So I started to sort of go a bit further with this and thought, right, what about 2025? Let's add that up, come up with a number and see what that means in numerology. So number 9 is the number for 2005. And apparently this is related to endings, especially the ending of things that aren't serving you. Apparently it's like a cosmic declutter, so you get rid of all the rubbish, all the stuff that's not working for you, and you're leaving space for the good things to come in. It indicates a journey of continuous learning and growth. Well, I kind of feel like that's just life anyway. Apparently number 9 is humanitarian at heart. It is compassionate, it is kind, it's about working towards a greater good. Again, I feel like I have been tapping into that energy. That is what I'm working towards as well with this work, working towards the greater good. You know, you're getting the message about witchcraft and just sort of making sure that people don't think of it in a sensationalist way. But it represents the ruling planet of Mars as well, which I feel like is just very, very relevant for me personally. Obviously, it's the number 9 for everyone, but you might feel differently about how things are going for you so far. I mean, we've only just got into 2025, but Mars is the planet of action and outward activity, assertiveness, drive, sort of like that focus, that pushing on, achievement, passion, all those sorts of very energy and action related correspondences. So I feel like this is my year this year. I'm always very positive when I go into a new year, but there's something a bit different about this one. It's quite possible I'm going to be eating my words in about 6 months' time, but I do have a good feeling, and my feelings usually come off. They're usually on the money. So I wonder what you thought. How is it going? How do you feel about 2025? What do you think about that number? I've heard some people say it's a better number than 2024. Because it's, you know, it's a quarter of 100, it's a nice neat round number, but then other people don't like odd numbers, do they? They might prefer 2024 or 2026, but I'm not sure I like the number 2025. However, I'm appreciative of the energy that I'm feeling from it so far. So yeah, I would like to know how you're getting on. How are you getting on with your word of the year? Have you picked one? I know some of you had, and some of you are still working on it. Have you got your word for this year? I'm still using Nourish. I'm not going to change that. That's my word, and I'm working on that. I'm working on the theme of Nourish, and I feel like it's doing me good. You know, I'm trying to be healthy and have better choices, but then if I have something like hot chocolate, for example, on a rare occasion, I am seeing that as nourishing myself as well. It's a treat. It's making me feel good. It's making me feel, you know, held and cozy. And so it's a change of attitude for me, I think, in terms of looking after myself in a positive way and cutting out, you know, treats and stuff like that, but at the same time, if I have one, not giving myself a hard time about it. So it's a very, very settled, lovely place to be, Nourish. It feels very gentle and very reassuring and very comforting. So yeah, I'd love to hear what your word is, how you're getting on with it, whether it's making a difference to your mindset and how you go about your practices, how it's maybe affecting your witchcraft practice. I would love to hear. So we're going to do some cards now. Don't forget, if you're in the Leicestershire, Northamptonshire, Rutland, what's the other one, Lincolnshire sort of border area, I am doing cards in person on a Tuesday at the Old Smithy in Burley in Rutland. We're just down the road from the county town Oakham, so feel free to come and enjoy some cards with me. If you want to book, then just drop me an email at the cemetery, no, it's not at the cemetery witch, yeah, at the cemetery witch at yahoo.com, but there is an underscore between the words. I'll pop it down in the description so that you have it. Let me know how your week has been, what you've been up to. Have you been doing anything good, or are you hibernating? I'm definitely feeling like that at the moment. Okay, I decided to go for 3 cards today. I was going to do this with the Witchcraft tarot, but they are just so big and they're just such a pain to shuffle. And in the end, I just opted for my Rider-Waite, because I've been working with this deck on and off since I was 15 years old, maybe even a little bit longer. And I just love it. And it just speaks to me and talks to me. And I love the Witchcraft, I love the imagery, but the cards are so big, they're really, really hard to shuffle. And I started to shuffle them before I started to record this, and I dropped a load of them, and I just thought, no, this just won't do for making a video. So yeah, we are using the Rider-Waite. I did shuffle them before, and a quick shuffle now. One of these cards is coming up a lot at the moment, I've noticed. I would love to know, I'll tell you which one it is. I would love to know if you're experiencing this as well. But we have got the 7 of Cups, we have got the 8 of Cups, and we have got the Chariot. And my apologies, because my stomach has been rumbling throughout this entire video. The Chariot. This card is popping up again and again and again. And my keyword, so I have like a keyword, well, I have a phrase for each of the cards in the major arcana, which 1 to 10 moves over to the minor arcana. And my phrase for this is the Path. And this is coming up a lot. I feel like this is the 444 angel number a little bit. But anyway, I digress. So yeah, interesting message here. This is some advice on thought patterns and behaviours, really. So be careful of wishful thinking. Be careful of wishful thinking. Be careful of rose-tinted glasses. Be careful of living too much in the past. These sorts of things. I know someone who does this kind of stuff a lot, and it drives me absolutely bonkers, okay? They're always in the past. They're always looking back at things with rose-tinted glasses, and they're always really, really, yeah, I mean, it's not so much wishful thinking, but they have a way of looking at things that is just not very, very rooted in reality. This card here is the warning against wishful thinking, and also just illusions of any kind. You know, that idea that there's no such thing as a free lunch, which is very true. But yeah, you do have to be careful what you wish for, and some of those things that you're wishing for, you know, you have to be aware of. Some of them are very positive, you know, it's absolutely fine to wish for good health and things like that, and happiness, but sometimes we can get in the trap of looking at other people and what they've got and then wanting it. So that's usually the trappings of wealth, things like fast cars and jewellery and lots of money to spend and lots of holidays. And it's fine wanting all of that, but we'll get trapped in it. It's like it's addictive, and it can only serve to make us unhappy. If we're carrying out wishful thinking, it's usually because we haven't got something, and yeah, that's not a good place to be. It's not a good place to be, and it's not good for our mental health in general. So the message here is about looking after your mental health and walking away from any of those sorts of thought patterns and behaviours. We could put other things in this cups as well, you know, we could put desire in there, we could put jealousy in there, we've got wishful thinking in there, we've basically got a lot of the sort of negative emotions and just this idea of illusion. And I think this really, really plays into social media, doesn't it? This idea of illusion, and then other people wanting what you've got, and this wishful thinking. We don't live in an especially good society for helping people with this. We see it all the time, and everyone's just really greedy and just wants more and more and more. I mean, I'm not going to go into what one woman did recently, but she did something that, you know, normally I wouldn't judge, but it just seemed really, really just degrading, and she wanted to do it, and it's just like it's a race with other people that are doing similar things, and yeah, we're all just sort of losing sight a little bit, I feel sometimes. So if we're entering in, I'm going all around the houses here because it just sets off lots of ideas and things in my mind. But if you're getting into that kind of negative thought processes, the wishful thinking, the desiring, the sort of hankering after things that you don't have that other people might have, just knock it on the head, or walk away, take a step back. If there are people that are boasting that they've got this kind of stuff and you haven't, take a step back from them, take a step away from social media. Just do what you need to do to protect your peace, and remember that you are traveling along the right path. You are going in the right direction. I myself, when I look at myself, when I look at my history over the last sort of 10, 15, 18 years in terms of being a single parent for a very long time, having poor health, I haven't had a lot of money to spend on things. But when I found myself on the right path, I've found that sometimes things, you know, they come to you without you having to spend any money. You know, people gift you things, or they might treat you to something, or, you know, it's weird, but when you get in flow, you don't have to worry, you don't have to have this wishful thinking. You find other joys and other riches instead, like sunshine or flowers, or yeah. So let's move away, let's step away from the thoughts and the processes that are causing you to feel sad, depressed, lonely, tired, down, uncertain. And I really, really recommend that you get that lovely deck by Gabrielle, what was her second name? Let's find it. Gabrielle Bernstein, and put some positivity. So instead of wishful thinking, let's move towards positivity instead, and hope. All right, yeah, that's it for today. That's our witching week for today. I'm really, really looking forward to seeing you guys next week. It's so lovely to be back. This is the 4th one after Christmas, and yeah, I've been really, really enjoying it. It's lovely, and I just feel so excited about the weeks ahead and about the months ahead, and I hope you are as well. I hope you're well, and I hope you take care of yourself this week, and then I will be back next Friday with another episode. If you've watched for the first time and you've got all the way to the end, thank you so much. Please feel free to subscribe. It takes 2 seconds and it really, really helps the channel. And yeah, sending you so much love. I'll see you next week. Bye.